I make a distinction between digitization, which is this sort of act of converting analog information into data, and then the digitalization, slightly longer word, different word, which means the adoption or increase in the use of digital information across an industry or across an organization. Clearly at the moment in construction we're on a journey. We've got some people on site in particular who are still using pens and paper. They're still analog. Their challenge in a way with digital construction is to move into a world in which they start to use applications and solutions to capture information, maybe on mobile devices, reporting solutions and that kind of thing. But the future of the industry is very much one of digitalization, enabling the sort of seamless flow of information between everybody involved on a project, from the earliest stages of planning and conceptualization right through design, construction, and crucially into operation and maintenance, and in particular the use of the finished built asset for its intended purpose. At the moment we have this slight disconnect between construction and the end users. If we to get construction out of its silo, we've got to make that connection and have that sort of integration with the end users. I think be flexible. The technology is changing very fast, and not only is the technology changing fast, but our ability to collate data, capture data, is accelerating. So we're working in a world in which it's not just about the data we collect in the models, it's the data around the models. Digital Built Britain, for example, as a vision for the future of the built environment, isn't just about construction 2025. It brings together other industry strategies. It brings together the information economy. It brings together smart cities. It brings together business and professional services. So it's about this holistic view of the future of the built environment. So I think it's impossible as individuals, it will be impossible as individuals in the future for us to have an individual control over all of that data. But we should be looking at ways in which we can use tools, artificial intelligence and some of those other things that I said earlier, to be alerted to capture, find, interpret, verify and validate the information that's presented to us. Because we can't do it manually, we'll have to use the tools to do so. We might have other technologies that come through. I'm quite excited about blockchain as one technology that might change how we manage contracts and financial transactions, but also the semantic web. I think the semantic web is something that gives us this ability to connect our built environment to a much broader social sphere or economic sphere around our projects, and helping give us better, more informed decision making, and ensure a recurring theme in my thinking that construction is kicked out of its silo and becomes an integrated part of clients and supply chains, business, value-adding businesses. I think it is this big opportunity to integrate and collaborate and break out of the silos. I think the industry for far too long has tended to sit within individual companies, within individual disciplines, to hang on to its information for dear life and not to share it. We would often have to re-key information. Over the years, we've seen the emergence of some data standards that have improved interoperability, enabled us to share information more easily, but we've still got industry cultures, industry structures, contracts, insurances and so on that keep pushing us back into silos and stop us integrating and enabling that kind of collaboration to happen. I think we need to be thinking about that seamless flow of information and starting to get out of the mindset of just seeing construction as the handover of a project as the end game and start adding value to our customers in terms of what we deliver in terms of better performing built assets that really support the end users and the clients of the industry. Well, I think the BIM is a bit of a catalyst for collaboration, but it's only a small part of a much bigger picture. A lot of the way in which the industry needs to change is down to the culture of the industry. One of the sort of old rules of thumb is that successful collaboration is maybe 20% technology but 80% people and process. We're tackling the 20% quite well, but we've still got to tackle that 80%, and in some cases might even be more than 80%, might be 90% of a challenge. And that's about behaviours, that's about attitudes, and winning people over to a way in which they are rewarded for collaborating. We've seen some early attempts at doing so by rethinking procurement, for example. It's not even a technology, it's about procurement in some cases. So that if you've got procurement on the basis of gain and pain sharing, where everybody's incentivized to share information and given some stretched targets to achieve, then suddenly you've got people pulling together collectively. It's in their collective interest to do something better, to do something different, to innovate.